strength soldiers, Travis here, just messing around here before the CrossFit Regionals kicks off here in less than a week, and working on the first two events here. There'll be highlights to follow, just working on my hang squat snatch and a little bit of handstand walks. And what I wanted to go over here real quick before I get into some of the highlights here is tips and tricks on how to walk on your hands. All right, a lot of people have a lot of trouble walking on their hands, and my first biggest piece of advice for you is to get comfortable being upside down. If you think about it, we're not upside down very much. All right, so first things first, to get comfortable doing that, what you want to do is do kick-ups. All right, so if you're somebody that's not very efficient at handstand push-ups yet, that's something that you'll want to definitely work on. You'll want to be, you don't necessarily have to be very, very strong with pumping out a bunch of different, bunch of reps with your handstand push-ups. However, you do want to have that stability and that overall strength in those shoulders to hold yourself upside down. So one of the biggest things for you to help you out on this is just going to be a basic kick up onto the wall. So I'll show you here. You're just going to step, kick up onto the wall, and then you want to work that good positioning. So head is going to be between those arms, pushing the ground away, just getting very comfortable being upside down. All right. First couple of times you do that, especially if you're brand new to it, you're going to have a lot of blood rush to your head. You might get lightheaded, and you're just not going to be able to hang up upside down very long. All right, so that's the first step, is just kicking up, getting comfortable at being in that position. Now, next step on handstand push-up walks is once you get comfortable being upside down, kicking up, you feel like you got a lot of stability, so you can kick up, you can hold that position for about 30 seconds solid. Now we can start working some movement drills, all right? Next one, first progression-wise, is going to be a wall walk. A wall walk. That's going to help build up the strength in the shoulders and further increase that stability. All right, another area that we're going to want to focus in on here is core strength in the middle. All right, so a wall walk, you're going to start off facing the opposite direction. You'll have your feet against the wall. You'll start in a push-up position. And what we'll do from here is we're going to walk up the wall, and you're going to go up as far as you can. Ideally, you go up, touch your nose, then you come back out, keeping a tight core, all the way back down to the ground, then you can go right back up. Now the key with this is, you couldn't see me from the side, but you're keeping your body in a nice tight position here. So straight across versus letting your body get extended. Whenever you get extended, we've lost tension and control in the midline. We want to stay in a hollow position on those wall walks. All right, so that's another progression that you can start working to help increase the stability and the overall strength in those shoulders to help get you walking on your hands. All right, next drill, and this is a tougher drill here. So after you've gotten to the point where you can walk up the wall, you can either do wall facing or regular handstand push-up position where you kick up on the wall, and we'll do shoulder taps. All right, this is again going to help increase that stability, that strength, and then start working that coordination. All right, so I'll show you the first variation here. So we'll walk up onto the wall. We'll get in a good position here. Everything's locked out. Boom. You're just going to reach across, touch that shoulder. So what that does is that starts getting you more used to being on one arm at a time. Obviously, that's what's going to happen when you're walking on your hands, all right? You're taking a step, step, step. And even if you have to regress that down, you don't have to reach all the way across and touch that shoulder. You can just lift up one hand at a time. Boom, 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 right there. Same thing, we can kick up here. We can do the same thing. See? Really work that stability. Just lift the hands up, put them back down, and you can work that drill for time. And as you get better, boom, and go all the way up, touch those shoulders, one at a time. All I was doing is just lifting my hands up. You're going to feel that weight shift side to side. It's going to be very, very awkward. But the key about getting better at handstand push-ups really, at the overall scope of things, is just being upside down. Practice, 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 practice. The way I got so good at these was, number one, I was lucky to be doing these at a young age. So in wrestling, our wrestling coach had us walking on our hands all the time, doing wall walks, doing handstand push-ups, all that different stuff. So I was lucky at a young age, started building up that shoulder stability and strength, and just have been able to maintain that as I got older. And it's because I get upside down often, at least once a week. I'm doing some sort of handstand push-up work, whether that be strict handstand push-ups or walks. All right, and when it comes to walks, it's just going to come down to giving it a try, practicing. So you want to set aside 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just kicking up. So I'll show you here, just simply kicking up and getting used to being upside down. All right? Ideally, when you kick up, you should have your feet together, toes pointing to the ceiling, and your core in a nice tight position. All right? I've got a bad habit of letting my feet kind of hang over the top of my head. That actually helps me out with my handstand walks because my momentum is moving forward, so all I got to do is walk with it. Whereas if I was to do a handstand push-up or kick myself up without a wall, it's going to be very difficult for me to hang out in that position. All right, so a couple things you want to focus in on there. But if you're trying to do handstand walks, main thing here is work those progressions. You're going to be building up more strength and stability in the shoulders, and then just get upside down and practice. Practice, practice, practice. All right? It's going to take a lot of times of you getting up and falling before you start to get better. So just know you got to go through that, and the more time you put in, the better you'll get at it. All right? And last but not least, just make sure you're mobilizing those shoulders as well. So if you're having issues where you can't even put both arms up over your head, you can only get to this position here, you can't get here, and you have no business doing handstand push-ups yet anyways. We need to start working some mobility work, soft tissue work, loosening up everything around that shoulder joint so we can get that good range of motion. Because if you're hindered with your range of motion, that's when injuries are going to occur. All right, so you want to make sure you take care of that now before you get into it and start wrecking some stuff inside your shoulders. All right, so just some tips and tricks on handstand walks, all that good stuff. I'll post up some highlights of some squat snatches and handstand walks right after this video. So keep going 110% hand, let me trade aggressive with Travis. We're out.
Now,